No one knows. You have never heard of this word units? Yes or no? You have not heard of this word units? Okay, forget about units. At least measurements.
We have heard it.
Measurements means what? You heard what? You have heard units or you have heard measurements?
Both.
Both, right? Then what is it? Then what are these units all about? You can tell it in your own words. I'm not asking the exact book definition or something. What is your idea of units?
What kind of quantity? What type of quantity?
Very good. Very good. That's what we say units as. For example, you try to measure something. Let's say you're trying to measure the distance between 2 points in your room. You want to find out what is the distance between these 2 points so that if I buy something, will that get fit in this particular place or not? So if you're trying to make a measurement, let's say you will have a measuring instrument in your hand. Let's say a tape or something else, whatever. Depending on the length or depending on the distance you want to measure, you will be using different instruments. So if I say this distance is 10, does that make sense? I'm saying when you ask me a
No,
question,
sir.
so what are you supposed to say?
Whether it's
Like
meter,
10 meter or something like that.
Whether you say something like you're talking about 10 centimeter or you're talking about 10 meter or you're talking about 10 feet, like something of this sort is needed for. So what have I done here actually? Practically speaking, I've taken a tape, I've measured what is the distance between these 2 points. So the physical quantity I'm concerned about is the distance. So for me to know what is the distance, if once I make the measurement, I need to give a symbol or a unit to it such that it is universally understood, right? Because if I say 10 centimeter, whether you are here or you go some other place and say 10 cent, if you tell someone that you're telling the answer as 10 centimeter, the other person will automatically understand you're trying to speak about the distance between 2 points. Is it because of the 10 or because of the centimeter they will be able to find? It is because of the centimeter. So centimeter is going to be the unit for this particular measurement of the physical quantity, which speaks about either distance or displacement. But it has something to do with the measurement of the distance between 2 points. That is what the whole objective is, right? So then, from keeping all these concepts in mind, what can you say about a unit? Let's try to put it in very simple terms. Why do you think unit is important?
Without units, if we like just write it as a number, we won't understand.
It will be a number, and secondly, the measurement will not make any sense. So, along with the quantity, can I say measurement is nothing but a quantity? You're going to say, let's say you're going to a shop and getting 2 kilograms rice. If you go to shop and sell, give me two rice, it doesn't make sense, right? You have to say whether you're talking about 2 grams or 2 kilograms or whatever it is, or 2000 grams, something of that sort. You need to use the symbol. So, can I say unit is a special quantity, is a special symbol which is given to the made measurement, right? So,
Yes, sir.
do you people have NCRT with you? I'll just mark certain points in your NCRT. So just give me a minute. So you can also open it simultaneously along with me. So if you go to this website, type as I typed NCRT textbook for 11th physics. You go to this website, NCRT books. So in this site, you will have this part, the first part. So in that, go to the second chapter. So in the second chapter, it is given here. You can make a note of it. So this is the term. So how do you there is no proper definition for unit, okay? Because according to different perspectives, we give a different meaning to it. So measurement of any physical quantity involves a comparison with a certain basic, arbitrarily chosen and internationally accepted the term for. So you people know this, right? V is equal to IR from your last year basics. So if I write R is equal to V by A, what will I do? Did you people do Ohm's law experiment in your lab?
Yes, sir.
So what did you observe from Ohm's law? What is that you found in Ohm's law? So you would have calculated the resistance of that particular device, right? So resistance of the device is measured in Ohm. So when you prepare a table like this, let's say, how many times will you repeat the experiment? You will do it once and leave it, or you will keep repeating the experiment?
3 times.
Repeat 3 times or 4 times.
See, 3 times, 4 times. See, what happens if you repeat more number of times? Why do you actually repeat?
Resistance is constant.
Okay, but why do you repeat? If resistance is constant, you can do the experiment once and you can say, this is my answer. Why do you need to repeat and waste time?
Maybe to prove it that it is constant. Every time when we do, we can see that the resistance is constant.
But let's speak practically. Will you get constant value every time? You will not
It
get it, right?
increases gradually.
It can increase or it can decrease. We don't know. It depends on how much measurement. There'll definitely be some change, right? So let's say you're doing this experiment 5 times. There will definitely be a change arising again. Why do you do this? Then when the change is occurring, why do we need to repeat it multiple times? Okay, let's say I'm getting the answer as 5.001, 5.002. Third time I'm getting it as 4.995. Fourth time I'm getting it as 4.990. If I have something like this, then which one will you say is the exact resistance?
The average value.
You're taking the average value. That average value is what we call it as true value. So when you do this, suppose you're doing the experiment in your DAV school lab. Suppose you're writing that in your record book, and if you just write it, even if you don't write R, let's say you're writing the answer as 5.0025 ohm. If I write like this and I just leave it, okay, I'm not telling what it is, I'm just telling you that I got my final answer like this. If I take this book and give it to a person, your friend who is in some other school, will they be able to find what measurement you did? Will they be able to tell what exactly you're trying to calculate?
No, sir.
Why?
No.
Or else I'm saying, forget about this. Will they at least be able to say, you're going and telling your friend saying that I did an experiment. That's all you're saying. I did an experiment. I found out the value to be 5.0025 ohm. Will your friend at least be able to guess what experiment you would have done? Let's say they're studying in some other school, not from the same school. Will they be able to find it?
They might find, may not.
That's it. Let's assume they have knowledge. See, my question is, you see, you're going and telling your friend, I did an experiment like this, 5.00525 is my answer. Will they be able to find what exactly you did?
No, sir.
No. But if I do the same thing like this, okay, let us assume your friend is good, having a good knowledge about physics. If you write something like this, will they be able to find it? Will they at least be able to say, by looking at this particular quantity, will they be able to say or
Yes,
not?
sir.
What will they say? They will tell that you did an experiment to calculate the resistance of a particular device. And how did they actually find it? It is because of this particular symbol which you gave, and the symbol is what is internationally accepted. So that is the meaning of this. So that is why they told any measurement. So you did the measurement, that is 5.0025 of any physical quantity. What is the physical quantity you have chosen here? Physical quantity means the quantity which you use in physics. What physics quantity did they use? They calculated
Ohm.
resistance. Ohm is not ohm is a unit. Physical quantity is resistance. Okay. So you did the measurement of which quantity? Measurement of resistance, which involves comparison with the certain basic, arbitrarily chosen and internationally accepted reference standard. So this ohm is what is the arbitrarily chosen value and it is internationally accepted one, and the name of that is what is called as unit. If I ask you, unit of whom? Unit of resistance. Okay, so sometimes what we need to do is, instead of doing all these things, if you go and tell someone I got my value as this much, they will be able to. So instead of telling the whole story, if you just report the final answer, they will be able to tell you what exactly you did in that particular lab. Okay, for example, you go and tell someone I saw this value as 20 meters per second. Will they be at least able to guess what physical quantity you're trying to talk about?
Sir,
They will say what? They will say what?
speed.
It can either be speed or they can also use the word velocity. It can be anything. Okay, if you just tell 20 meters per second, my only objective is, will they be able to at least find that is speed and velocity? Yes, they will be able to find, only because of this particular unit. That is the reason why units are very important. Okay, in your lower grade, they would have told you if you don't write units, you lose half mark. But keeping that marks factor aside, you need to understand one thing. If there are no units present, then you will not understand what quantity you are trying to measure. This units is not a concept which is applicable only for physics. Though you are learning in physics, it is applicable for your chemistry also. In your chemistry, the chapter you are learning now is stoichiometry. So in stoichiometry, what do? You say 5 grams of a substance is taken. This 5 grams of a substance has how many moles? They say all these things. What are these things actually? This 5 is a measurement, gram is a unit. Right? So moles is also a unit. So these things come into picture. So you apply the concept. So there is no science or there is no math without units and measurements. So the whole objective starts only from here. So whatever you are learning in this particular chapter can be applied for your chemistry as well. There will be no big change. I hope it is clear. So with that we will start. So every physical quantity will have a unit associated with it. Okay, every physical quantity has a unit associated with it. I'm showing you the left hand side observe. So what are all the standard measures? See, you're able to see the second point. So what should be the unit of a particular physical quantity? Okay, the standard measure of any physical quantity is called the unit of that physical quantity. As I told you, unit definition no one will ask you. It is only for you to understand. So different books have different definitions. So first point to be noted is the measure of a unit should be definite and unambiguous. Ambiguous means without any, ambiguous means confusion, unambiguous means without any confusion. So if you talk about the measure of any particular quantity, it should be a definite value and that unit should be definite and it should be unambiguous. For example, I cannot go and say the SI unit of, I cannot say 20 meters per second and I cannot speak about acceleration. Because acceleration has a definite unit associated with it. What is it?
Meter per second square.
Meter per second square. If I use meter per second square, it is going to be definite and particularly fixed only for acceleration. Okay. Next, the unit should be such that its measure should not change, and if a unit is defined with the help of some phenomenon, that phenomenon must be permanent. Okay. These are all just the outline which you need to understand. Okay. Third one is the prototype. So whatever device you are using to measure this particular physical quantity, that should be easily be replicable. So anyways, this point is also only for your understanding. It is not for the exam perspective. Okay. Next, let's see what do we mean by units of physical quantities and what are all the systems that are being followed. So what are all the different systems that you know? For example, meters per second square, if I ask you, what system of unit does it fall into? So for acceleration, should I use only meters per second square? If I write 20 centimeter per second square, then what will this mean?
Millisecond square.
Sorry?
Millisecond square.
No, I can write 20 centimeter per second square, or I will write 20 feet per second square. Okay, let's make it very simple. I'm not even talking about acceleration. If I talk about distance, I can report the distance as 20 meter. or I can report the answer as 20 meter is how many centimeter? It is going to be 2000 centimeter, or how can I report it? I can write it as 20 into 10 power minus 3 kilometer. I can write it like any form, right? But if you observe anything, everything, it is the measurement is the same. The measurement is still 20 only. But what are we trying to do? Here I am representing in meter, here I am representing in centimeter, here in kilometer. So what are all the different systems that you have followed? So you have already used, right? 20 meters per second, you would have 20 meters you would have used in your 9th standard. Have you heard this word SI unit?
Yes, sir.
So this meter falls under a system of units called as System International. That is what you are using. Have you heard the word called as CGS system? Have you heard it? Something like the CGS.
Centimeter.
Yes, sir.
Centimeter,
Gram,
gram, second.
second.
So centimeter is a measure of which quantity?
Distance.
Rather than saying say distance or displacement, all these are associated with length. Can I use the word length? So centimeter
Yes,
is used
sir.
for length. Just give me a minute. See, the first few topics are theoretical. You have to concentrate. Without them, you can't do the problems in this. If there is any doubt, get it clarified. Right? So SI means it is System International. So this is the one which is internationally followed. Okay? It is actually a French system. Then you have CGS system. What do you mean by CGS? You people told me just now. Centimeter,
Gram second.
gram, second. Okay. Suppose I write like this, MKS unit. So if you observe, CGS stands for length. First, centimeter is for length. Gram is for which physical quantity is measured with gram?
Mass
mass.
or weight?
Mass.
It is the mass,
Mass.
not weight. Weight is force. Don't get confused. It is mass. And obviously S stands for
Time.
seconds time, right? So similarly, MK is also, it is going to be for length, mass and time. Okay. So if I say MKS, then what does M stand for?
Meter.
Meter.
Meters.
Meter.
Don't use the word S, okay? It is only meter. Don't use it. Meter, mass. K stands for?
Kilogram.
Kilogram.
Very good. Kilogram. And time stands
Second.
for?
Second.
Second.
It is clear. Similarly, if I use a system called as FPS system,
Foot.
yes. See, there is a British
Pound.
system.
Pound.
Pound
Pound.
and
Second.
10 seconds.
use the word second. Don't use the word seconds. Okay, I'll tell you the reason why you're not supposed to use. So one thing you're able to understand. So for every particular system of unit, what are the three physical quantities which are deciding what units are to be coming? I'm talking about three physical quantities. One physical quantity is length, one physical quantity is mass, and the third physical quantity is time. So these are all the fundamental ones. So based on this only, you can think of different combinations. For example, when I asked you about velocity, for velocity you told meter per second. So when I report the answer in meter per second, which particular system am I following?
MKS.
Sorry?
MKS.
It is MKS, right? This MKS and SI, they are almost the same, except the fact that in MKS system, what are the three fundamental quantities that are deciding? This length, mass and time. No, length, mass and time. When I ask you about physical quantity, don't tell me the units. See, don't, again you're getting confused. Please understand. Length is a physical quantity. Okay. Meter is a unit of it. So to the measured value, whatever unit, whatever tail you are adding is what is called as a unit. Okay, 10 meter is the length. So length is a physical quantity. The length can either be a distance or displacement. Distance is a physical quantity. Displacement is a physical quantity. For example, if you want me to put it in simple terms, from your 10th standard, you have heard of refractive index. right? You have heard of this word refractive index? Don't say you didn't.
Yes, sir.
What does the refractive index
sir.
mean? The refractive index is defined as the speed of the light in a particular medium to the speed of the light in vacuum to the speed of light in particular medium. If I ask you what is the unit of refractive index, what will you say? Okay, let's keep that aside. Is refractive index a physical quantity or a unit?
Refractive index, no unit, sir.
It has no units. That's a different story. Is refractive index a physical quantity or a unit?
Physical quantity.
It is a physical quantity. So how do you identify whether it is a physical quantity? Quantity means what? Quantity is something that can be measured. Measured value is what is called as a quantity. If that measurable quantity is related to physics, if you learn the topic under the physics chapters, then we call that quantity as a physical quantity. As simple as that. So length is a parameter that can be measured. I hope you're able to understand. Similarly, refractive index is a parameter which can be measured. So when you measure a value, you will get a particular number. To that number, whatever tail you are assigning is what is going to be the unit of that physical quantity. So every physical quantity will have a unit associated with it. Sometimes there might not be having any unit. That reason we'll see it later why it is not having. But most of the physical quantities will have a unit associated with it. I hope there is no confusion between what is a physical quantity and what is a unit. Is there anyone having? Are things clear? So here they have asked, see, what do you mean by units of physical quantities? So the units of physical quantities are like this. So there are many number of physical quantities that are present. Maybe if I ask you to prepare a chart and give me how many physical quantities you have learnt in your 10th standard, let's say you started like this. For example, you take current, electricity. What are all the terms you have learnt?
Ampere.
You would have learnt about volt. That is called as you have heard of the term called as potential difference. That is the first term you will learn. So potential difference, is it a physical quantity or a unit?
Physical quantity.
Physical quantity. If I ask you what is the unit of it,
Volt.
V.
physical quantity is going to be measured in volt. Unit is volt. Symbol used is V. Symbol used is capital V. We use capital V because it's the name of a scientist. There are rules. Similarly, you would have learnt about electric current. Measured in. What is the unit? Current is a physical quantity.
Ampere.
Ampere.
Ampere. You have A. Similarly, what else did you learn? You would have learnt about resistance.
Charge.
So resistance is a physical quantity. SI unit. Ohm. Symbol used. Omega like this. You're able to understand, you're able to visualize what exactly we are going to see in this chapter. Okay. So this volt can be written, volt is the outermost unit. But if you recollect what volt means, if you remember what it is actually joule per coulomb. Do you people remember this?
Sir.
You remember this, right?
Yes.
But what is a physical quantity which has the unit joule? So how do you define potential difference as? You're calling it as work done by charge. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So work done is measured in joule and the charge is measured in coulomb. But how is joule measured as? Where did you get the joule from? This joule per coulomb is what we called it as volt. Now where did you get the joule from? Joule is nothing but work done. So again you have to go back to your 9th standard. So what do you mean by
Energy
work done?
used.
Energy used. Work done is force into displacement. You remember this, F into S?
Yes, sir.
Force is measured in which unit?
Right.
Force is measured in Newton. Displacement is measured in meter. This Newton into meter is what we called it as joule. You're able to understand? So how I'm taking the chart is potential difference. From potential difference, I went to what is work done. From work, I went to what is force. From force, I'm going to get into how did you get this force? Force is nothing but mass into
Mass into
acceleration.
acceleration.
So mass into acceleration is what? kilogram meters per second square. Mass is measured in kilogram. Acceleration is measured in meters per second square. This kilogram meter per second square is what is called as Newton. Right. So force into displacement. So force is measured in Newton. Displacement is measured in meter. This Newton into meter is what we call it as. What is Newton into meter? That's what we call it as joule.
Joule.
Right. So that is why we say work done is nothing but joule. Right. If you divide this joule by charge, so if joule is divided by charge, then we write it as joule per coulomb. What is this? This is what we call it as volt. Did you people learn all these things, or you just memorized? Just accepted it? But are you able to see? I'm not saying you need to know exactly this particular concept, but are you able to see and visualize how these units are actually useful for us, how the units are actually unrevealing? Clear? Clear, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Sir.
So this is what we are supposed to do. So that is what you're going to learn in this chapter. Okay. So every physical quantity has a unit associated with it, accepted or not. Like this, if I ask you how many physical quantities are there are going to be many. I'll show you a table, see. So if you see at the end of your textbook, it's not. Just a minute. I'll show you certain tables, wait. It's actually not given here. See, you're able to see all these things. So these are all the names of the particular unit that are given. I'll show you a table, wait. So you're able to see here, there's one such table which is prepared for certain physical quantities. For the physical quantity, what are all the quantities used? Plane angle, it has a unit. Solid angle, it has a unit. Area has a unit. You would have done problems based on area. Area is meter square. Volume is measured in meter cube. Velocity in meter per second. What are all the units used here? So every physical quantity has a unit associated with it. So it is not necessary that you have to memorize everything. So as you keep using them, you will get used to it. In this chapter, you are only going to learn how to convert one unit from one form to another. That's what. See, there is one such table. You have very big table present like this. You will have a very big table. Okay. So I hope you're able to understand what is the importance of it. Now let's come back to the basics. See, now concentrate. So when I try to write, if suppose I take work done. Okay, work done, by now you would have understood what is the SI unit of work done. So what is the SI unit of work done? Just now we discussed, man. It is joule. But how did you get this joule as? So work done is force into displacement. This you remember, right? Force is measured in Newton, displacement in meter. How do you measure force as? Force is mass into acceleration. Mass into acceleration is meters per second square into meter. So instead of me writing it as joule, I can also write it as kilogram meter square per second square. Can I write it like this? So this whole thing put together is what I'm calling it as joule. You're able to understand this thing? Now if I ask you a question, this particular unit is measured in which system? So depending on the three parameters, what are the three parameters? It is the mass, length, mass and time. So if the length is used in kilogram, mass is used in, length is used in meter, and mass is used in kilogram and time is used in second. So what will be the name of this system of unit? Take the first,
MKS.
it is the MKS system. So if I ask you this particular kilogram meter square second square is in which system, what will you say? It is in the MKS system, right? But the same thing, how can I write it? So mass need not be measured in terms of kilogram. It can be measured in terms of gram also. The length need not be measured in terms of meter. It can be measured in terms of centimeter also. So if I write gram centimeter square per second square, if I give you a particular quantity like this, if I ask you what system of units have you followed?
CGS system.
It is a CGS system. So you're able to understand? So in this chapter or throughout your 11th and 12th physics at least, you will be learning about two systems, that is SI system and CGS system. So you need to write the conversion between these two parameters. Again, this is very, very, very important for your chemistry part. Because if you see, all the quantities that you're taking will be in terms of grams. You will not have it in terms of kilogram. You will not take 5 kilograms of the substance. You will take only grams of substance or milligrams of substances. So you need to know the conversions. It is then you can handle the problems properly. Okay. So keeping all these parameters in mind, there are different kinds of systems. So first system is FPS system. You are able to see on the left hand side. So what does FPS system stand for? Foot, pound or second. So if suppose I want to write this thing, how can I write it? I can write it as gram is a measure of which quantity? It is a measure of mass. So according to FPS system, mass is measured in
Pound.
So instead of gram centimeter square per second square, how can I write it? I can write it as pound into centimeter should be replaced with
Foot.
foot square by second should be second maybe. So it will be foot pound square. So if I write a unit like this and give it to you, if I ask you what system of units are you following? Obviously it is the FPS system. See, this is not this, we don't use it here. It is mainly used in the British system. We don't use it at all. It is only for your knowledge. So CGS you would have understood centimeter, gram, second. Then you would have understood what is MK system, meter, kilogram and second. Then there is another unit called as MKSA system. A stands for ampere. Okay, and these quantities are there, no? These physical quantities, foot, pound and second. These are all called as the base quantities because every other unit is derived only from this. Because see, if you observe, gram centimeter square unit of which physical quantity. You a question like this. 1 minute. Just a minute. There is some problem with my iPad. Are you guys there? First of all, are you able to listen or hear?
Sir, we couldn't.
Sir, it's not audible. How do I mute yourself? What is happening? Are you able to hear me or my voice is breaking?
I did not hear anything.
Not able to hear? Okay. 1 minute. I'll try to correct myself. See, first I'm not able to understand one thing. Are you people able to understand or not? Or is it too tough? What is happening? If you tell me only, I can change my method of teaching. First, you have to let me know. Are you able to understand? Are you able to understand? Yes, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, then why are you not answering then? You can answer. No, if I am not concerned whether it is right or wrong. Participate in discussion.
So you weren't audible for the past 5 minutes or something.
Is it so? I'm sorry about
Sir,
it.
it was breaking, sir. Your voice is breaking.
Okay. I'm sorry about it. Okay, now participate. No, be active. So gram centimeter square per second square is a measure of work done. You're able to understand? So did you understand what I told about this foot pound and second? This foot pound and second are called as the base quantities. Please make a note of it. So they are called as the base quantities because these quantities, you can use different combination of these quantities to develop the SI unit for some other quantity, to develop the unit for some other quantity. That's why these are called as base quantities. So for FPS system, if I ask you, how many base quantities are there? Guys, you're able to understand for FPS system, how many base quantities are there? 3. That's right. For CGS, the name itself suggests CGS 3 centimeter, gram and second. So these 3 are the base quantities. MKS, again 3. MKSA, how many base quantities are there?
4.
4 quantities are there. Meter, kilogram, second and ampere. So here the definitions are given. Please make a note of it. So underline this part. See, although there are many physical quantities which are present, there are only there are limited number of physical quantities for which unit should be the units of all other physical quantities. Means, if suppose I give you two physical quantities M and S. M is a measure of what? In SI unit, it is a measure of length. It is a measure of time. If I ask you to frame different physical quantities from this, what are all the quantities you can define? I can think of a physical quantity where I define mass per length, the length per time. So this meter per second stands for which physical quantity? This you know. So you can derive speed from this. If I ask you, use m 1 times, use second 2 times, you will have meter per second square. This will give you the value for acceleration. Right. So this meter and second are called as the fundamental quantities, and this meter per second and meter per second square are called as the derived quantities because they are derived from the fundamental quantities. So the minimum physical quantities are known as the fundamental quantities, and if there is a point given, their units are called as the fundamental or the base unit. Okay. So the other physical quantities which can be expressed as a combination of these fundamental quantities is what is called as derived units. It's called as derived units. So if you need to form, so if you see like that, all these three physical quantities have 3 fundamental units. The MKSA system has 4 fundamental units. Similarly, if you look for the SI system, the advantage with SI system is how many base units are there? The name, it is given in the bracket. There are 7. There are 7. So you can use a combination of anything. So the 7 fundamental quantities that can be repeatedly used are, you have to memorize this. So the physical quantities, what were they already having? They have length, mass and time. So SI unit also has length, mass and time. In addition to length, mass and time, you can use a combination of other quantities also. For example, you can use current. Okay, you can use the temperature. Temperature is measured in a unit called as Kelvin. All these are the SI units. Similarly, the amount of substance, as I told you, the one which you are using in your chemistry. So mole is a SI unit. Right? And the last one is luminous intensity. Luminous means light, intensity means brightness. So the luminous intensity is measured in terms of candela. This is the least used. All other physical quantities keep repeating. How they can be used, we will see it later. Okay. So the question will be asked like this: how many fundamental quantities are there in the SI system? What will your answer be?
7.
7. Now the next question what they can ask you is, what are the 7 fundamental quantities that are present in the SI unit? What will you say? The 7 fundamental quantities are length,
Mass, time,
current, temperature,
amount of substance,
and luminous intensity. intensity. Now the next type of question they can form is, what are the symbols of the 7 fundamental quantities of the SI system? That is M, kg, S, A, K, mole. Mole means MOL, don't write it in the full form. It is MOL, and candela. That is written in CD. See, is it clear till this step? Why we are learning this, you will understand that. Why we are reading it, we will understand in the next term. The next term is define derived units. So what are the derived units? The units which can be derived from the fundamental quantities are what are called as the derived units. For example, if I talk about acceleration. So acceleration is a fundamental unit, or acceleration has fundamental unit or derived unit?
Derived unit.
Derived unit, because meter is a fundamental unit, second is a fundamental unit. The combination of those two is what is acceleration. So it is a derived unit. Similarly, if I ask you about work done, because we had been discussing about it. If I ask you whether work done is a derived unit or work done has a derived I'll rephrase. Work done is a derived quantity or a fundamental quantity. What do you say?
Derived.
It is a derived quantity. Where is it derived from? It is derived from force and displacement. Is force a derived quantity or a fundamental quantity?
Derived.
Force is also derived.
Mass.
It is derived from mass and acceleration. Right? So mass is a
Fundamental quantity.
very good fundamental quantity. Acceleration is a
Derived quantity.
derived quantity. So force is become a derived quantity because multiplying a fundamental quantity, derived quantity. Or you multiply two fundamental quantities also, it becomes a derived quantity. You're able to understand? So more than one fundamental quantity present in a particular physical quantity, that will become a derived quantity. Right? So this is all about the derived units. So apart from, so what are the two units we saw? One is fundamental units, and the second is derived units. And the third type is called supplementary units. The supplementary units is the one which is used to measure the angles. Okay, these things will not be used in the physical quantities. For example, in your math, you would have learnt about radians. Right? We discussed about what is radian. So generally 60 degrees, angle is measured in terms of degrees. If I ask you 60 degrees is how many radians, what will you say? You will say it as pi divided by 3. Radian, the symbol used to C. They use the C. But in math, have you ever written it like this?
No.
So no, right? How do you write it? For example, you write it like this, sine 60 degrees, or this is written as sine pi by 3. But pi by 3, we know pi by 3 is a measure. It is the angle between two lines. That angle is measured in terms of what? This pi by 3 is measured in terms of? It is measured in terms of a radian. Okay, that radian is what is called as one of the supplementary units. We don't use it. It is just for us to know. Okay, so that is what is given here. Plane angle means it is the angle. So the angle between two lines is called as radian, or the symbol used for it. Yeah, tell me.
Your voice is breaking in the middle, sir.
Is it so? Now is it better?
Yeah, now it's fine.
Sir, am I only getting sir's voice to be breaking, sir, your voice? Now is it better, guys?
No, sir, it occurs after some intervals, sir.
Okay, then I'll just try to move myself away from the fan. Just rearranging my seating. Now is it better?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. Now, so till where was my voice clear? From where did it break?
Till the radian, sir.
Till the radian. So in math, nowhere you will write it as pi by 3 rad always again and again. Okay. But these are also different. I don't know. Right? So this is one of the supplementary units. Similarly, you have something called a solid angle, which is measured in steradian. This you need not worry about this here. It is mainly used. This symbol is nowhere used, but for you to understand what is solid angle, we can see it later. Okay, too much information will confuse you. So plane angle alone I can tell you. So those who are not heard of this plane angle, I will explain it because this is required for this chapter. Can someone tell me what is plane angle? So it is the angle measured between two lines. So if I take this angle between two lines as theta, you can measure the angle in terms of degrees, or you can measure it in terms of radians. Can someone tell me what is the conversion between degree and radians? So if I take an arc of radius r and r, if I say the length of this arc is going to be L, then how do I write the value of theta as in terms of radian? Theta is, sorry, I didn't get you. Theta is equal, very good. L stands for length of the arc and r stands for the radians. Oh, sorry, radius, not the radians. So this L by r will give you the measure of angle in terms of radian. So this is the formula. Those who don't know, please make a note of it. So angle in radian is measured like this: arc length divided by the radius. Okay. So arc length divided by radius. Okay. So what I will do is I will stop with this particular concept for today. Tomorrow we'll discuss the remaining part. I would suggest you to go through all these topics once before tomorrow's class. So that you actually I've gone very slow. Okay. So please go through it and come tomorrow so that I can explain the concepts with more clarity. You will understand it better. Okay. So for DAV, what have they started in school?
Today it was
Today it was?
explaining the questions, sir. Student questions and some other topics.
Oh.
Sir.
They just clarified them though.
I think
It was just an
They have completed.
some analysis.
I'm not
They have
able to hear.
completed.
One person at a time, please. One person.
Some analysis.
Mithun, can you?
Some analysis.
Some analysis.
Some last.
Okay. So nothing has been started today, right? No subject has been started. Okay. Anyways, you revise till here.